who was in the chair, in the honoured central chair, as it were, earlier in the week. So just one final look at Connors, perhaps, before they start playing. Remarkable record last year in 1974. He was the champion of Australia, Wimbledon, United States, and also, incidentally, the champion of South Africa. And there was a possibility that if he'd been allowed to play in the French Championship, which he wasn't because of the somewhat blurred politics of the game at the time, he might have become the French champion too and become the third man in history to achieve the Grand Slam, the 4 great major championships, after those illustrious names, Donald Bludge, who did it first, and then Rod Laver.
And for those people that were saying that he wasn't so good on clay courts, he won the American clay courts too, beating Bjorn Borg in the final.
Jimmy Connors just having his last service or two, and to remind you that he hasn't lost a set in 5 matches.
Ready? Quiet, please. Connors to serve. First set. Play.
Red, 1.
Ah. 15 love. Love. 30-15. $40-15. Game to Connors. First game.
Fairly tough opening game. Jimmy Connors really hitting the ball absolutely in the middle of the racket. He's a great returner of the ball too, and the reason I think that he plays so well on grass is the fact that the ball keeps fairly low, and he moves very well, and he stays down and with the ball, and he'll certainly need to do that against this tremendous swerving serve of Roscoe Tanner.
Tanner to serve.
Ah.
15 love. Love. All right, please. 40. Love. $40-15.
And Jimmy Connors showing already the one of his great qualities. Never gives up. Runs down everything. 40-15.
Game to Tanner. 1 game all, first set.
Roscoe Tanner rather. 2 aces, clean, absolutely clean aces in that game, and if he keeps on serving like that, he's going to be a tough nut to crack here, even by Connors. 1-1, first set.
15 love.
Out.
30 love. Thirty 15. Forty 15.
Out.
40 30. Game to Connors. Connors leads by 2 games to 1. First set.
I think it needs to be said that many people, of course, think that Connors is just a really hard-hitting player with tremendous power off the ground and so on. What is he doing there? You see what he's doing there, Bill?
I don't know, it looks as though he's reading a message to him. How he thinks he's got time to do that, I don't know, but you were just saying that he's not only a very hard-hitting player, but he does play some beautiful lobs. And although he stays at the baseline sometimes after his own serve, he's so secure with his passing shots and his lobs that he's very difficult to attack. Tanner serving at 1-2, first set.
15 love.
Yep.
15 all.
Out.
15 30.
Let.
First service. Thirty all.
Out.
40-30. Game to Tanner, 2 games all. First set.
No service game so far to deuce. And this is really going to be a battle for the first break of service. 2-all.
Love 15.
Some movement going on behind the receiver.
$15-all. $30-15. $40-15. Game to Connors. Connors leads by 3 games to 2 the first set.
Just to point out there, one of Connors' unusual shots that gave him that game, a round arm smash, not the usual throwing of the racket head at the ball, but it's a shot rarely used these days to bring the ball back when it's right behind your head, but Connors does it better than certainly any player in the game today, I think.
I can't remember any player using that shot as well as Connors since Drobny, Dan. When he's really off balance, the lob is too fast for him to really get at it and have a swing, and then use that round arm smash, and it's very difficult to hit it as hard as Connors did that last shot. Tanner serving at 2-3. First set, no threat to either serve so far.
$15 love. $30 love. Quiet, please.
Crowd rather laughing. Connors is about 10 feet behind the baseline here.
Love.
Comes right forward, of course, to deal with the second service.
Yep.
Oh. Let's just see where he stands to take this first service. He really is at the moment about at least 10 feet behind the baseline. And of course straight forward for the second service.
Game to Tanner. 3 games all, first set.
Foul.
15 love.
Well played.
$15 all.
Magnificent wrong footing pass there by Tanner.
$15-30.
Absolutely pure stroke on the forehand from Tanner there. No spin, no backspin, no topspin. Dangerous strokes, but lovely to watch. 15-30.
Foul.
15-40.
And I would think that was the threatening of the second service that forced Connors into the double fault there. Tanner's made a distinct move to get across to play to cover his backhand, and it looked as though Connors was really trying to offset that. So it's 15-40.
Foul.
Game to Tanner. Change the balls, please. Tanner leads by 4-3, first set.
Well, that was a simply tremendous game played by Roscoe Tanner. Played beautifully because he was going for his shots and making them. He's very dangerous. Now, I think when you're playing against Connors, to beat him, you've got to have a tremendous serve to protect yourself from his great returns. And it'll be interesting to see in these next 2 or 3 games whether Tanner can keep on holding his serve and run out this first set. That's very important for him, because all through the tournament, whenever Connors has been slightly threatened and lost his serve, he's come back straight away and made the break back. But Roscoe Tanner serving with the aid of the new balls at 4-3, first set.
Out.
15 love.
Foul.
15 all. $15-30. $15-40.
Oh, boy.
Game to Connors. 4 games all, first set.
Well, the champion's reply to a loss of his own service, breaking back like that, and the tremendous zest and enthusiasm of this boy. It's quite infectious.
First service.
4-all, first set.
Love. All.
Up.
30-15.
Connors there, quick to take a two-handed backhand half volley deep down in the corner, and yet under attack like that, under severe pressure like that, still managed to get to the net and carry the fight to his opponent. 30-15.
$40-15. $40-30.
Yes, I think we have to say that was the impetuosity of youth. Not quite what we expected from the champion there in the semi-final. 40-30.
Game, Connors. Five games to 4. Connors leads first set.
I think it's noticeable that Connors has got to keep an eye when he serves his second service. He has to keep half an eye on Tanner too, who is ever ready to run round his back and play his forehand, which is perhaps the more reliable of the two ground strokes.
And Jimmy Connors comes so quickly into the net. He doesn't even always come in straight after his serve, but when he's coming in after the next shot, he really moves very quickly in. And we see already that Roscoe Tanner, who doesn't play a lot of lobs, is starting to play that lob. He knows that Connor's very quick back too, but he feels that if he can introduce some sort of element of doubt into Connors' mind, he might just stay that yard or two back and make the volley a little bit more difficult. Tanner serving at 4-5 in the first set.
Love 15. Love 30.
Great return of service by Connors there, of a very fine Tanner service, not perhaps his best, standing much closer to the line now, Connors.
$15, 30. $15-40.
So, 2 set points for Connors. Yes.
Game in the first set to Connors. First set to Connors, 6-4. Connors leads by 1 set to love.
So fast and furious set of 25 minutes. And the champion eager to go.
Connors to serve. Quiet, please. Second set. $15, love.
Let.
Well, if that was in, it was a remarkable smash.
30, love.
Yes, it was in. Right off balance, right in the backing corner and making an outright winner.
$40, love. Game to Connors. First game, second set.
And this is where Jimmy Connors is the period of the match when he's at his most dangerous, because he was a breakdown 4-3 in the first set. Immediately he broke back and then made another break, and he really starts to charge, as it were, and win the games very quickly indeed. I think his opponent, Roscoe Tanner, must be quite upset, because Roscoe isn't serving too well at the moment. He's missing, I think, perhaps 60% of his first serves, and if he's going to do well in this match, he's just got to hit a lot of first serves into court, because if he misses his first serve, Connors goes for a complete winner every time off the second one, and makes a lot of them too. Tanner serving, love 1.
Love 15. Love 30.
Well, it was a bad smash off the bounce, but what a remarkable recovery at the back of the court by Connors, picking up that shot.
$15-30.
It's a wonderful shot.
(15-40).
You're used to the champion making great strokes, but that was a gem. Absolutely off balance, under pressure, and yet getting that angle. 15-40.
(30-40). Here's
Good pull back from the man from Lookout Mountain. From 15-40 to deuce.
advantage Connors.
That's incredible.
Game to Connors. Connors leads by 2 games to love. Second set.
A couple of times there when Connors slipped over playing the shot, his opponent put the volley out.
Right,
So
please.
easy to do that when you're about to play your shot and you see the other man fall. He's within your field of vision. You don't concentrate on the ball. So 2 love for Connors. Second set.
Love. (15-all).
Well, it's an explosive type of tennis. We thought it would be. And it is remarkable to me that a boy can play like this with this astonishing power and basically keep it all under control and keep it purposeful. 15-all.
(15-30). (30-all). (40-30). Game to Connors. Connors leads by 3 games to love in the second set and by 1 set to love.
And just at this moment, Jimmy Connors is just playing the most incredible tennis. There's nothing he thinks, there's nothing that he can't do, and he's going for everything. Everything's coming off. He's making the most astonishing gets, and even when he's running absolutely flat out, somehow he manages to steady himself and play these great strokes. It's so important for Roscoe Tanner at the moment somehow to hang on, win a few service games, because the games are going so quickly that if we're not careful, and Roscoe's not careful, he'll be out of the match before he's got into it, so to speak.
I must say, it's Roscoe Tanner having rather a different experience from 2 weeks ago today when he beat Connors at Nottingham. Wimbledon champion on what he almost feels must be his own centre court these days, playing like a bomb. He really is.
Love.
Yep.
15-all. First service. $15-30. $30-all. $40-30. Game. Game to Tanner. Connors leads by 3 games to 1. Second set.
Well, we said earlier that Tanner's service was once timed and carefully timed at 140 miles per hour. Those last two must have been very close to it, I think. But it's Connors serving 3-1 in the second set, having won the first 6-4.
15-love. $30-love.
Let.
Little bit woody, little bit lucky the volley.
$40-love.
Yes, I suppose one ought to say a little bit steely rather than woody, but it was certainly a bad miss-hit, but an effective point winner. 40-love.
Game to Connors. Connors leads by 4 games to 1 in the second set and by 1 set to love.
Well, he hasn't lost a set, Connors, in his first 5 matches to get to this stage, and in this sort of form he doesn't look as though he's going to lose one here.
The unfortunate thing for Roscoe Tanner is that having made his break in the first set, he just couldn't quite manage to serve well enough to hold it. He served much better in this second set. He's starting to hit more first serves into court, but somehow he's got to stay with Connors, holding his serve. Even if he loses this second set, he's got to serve better and keep Connors out there, because I don't see how the last year's champion can continue to play in this tremendous form. He must have some sort of a lapse sometime if Roscoe Tanner can make the match go long enough. But it's 1-4, second set, and Tanner serving.
Love 15.
1 double 4 apiece. A lot of chalk, but it was in the wrong service court.
All.
Yeah.
15-30.
Cyber Tanner, I think that was outrageous. Brilliant service like that, returned immaculately, and then the net court.
$15-40.
On left.
30-40. Deuce.
Seems rather a surprise when the champion misses one, I must say.
Advantage Tanner. Deuce. Advantage Connors.
Well played.
Deuce.
Had to be a great forehand volley because it was a really fine return of service.
Advantage Connors.
And with Connors returning the service as brilliantly as this, it might be possible, I suppose, for Tanners to mix in a few slower balls and heavier slices and things like that.
Game to Connors. New balls, please. Connors leads by 5 games to 1 in the second set and by 1 set to love.
And all that in less than 3/4 of an hour.
Quiet, please.
Connors serving with new balls for 2 sets to love lead.
Love. First service. Love.
Well.
30-15.
The speed and the tempo of that rally off the ground was really something quite remarkable. 30-15. Look at that.
(40-15).
So that winner from a defensive position gives him 2 set points. Oh.
40-30.
But still 1 set point for 2 sets to love lead.
Game in second set for Connors. Second set to Connors, 6 games to 1. Connors leads by 2 sets to love.
And when you think that Tanner is ranked number 4 in the States, where they've got such a wealth of players and in such depth, and that Tanner is seeded number 11 in this championship, and the boy who had great success here last year, beating Ash and then losing to Roscoe, the eventual finalist, played Connors and lost to him in the semi-final of the American Championship last year, and here he is 2 sets down, 6-4, 6-1, and Connors playing unbelievable tennis.
And also, Dan, he's lost 4 service games. He's got the best service in the world, and he's just never having an easy return to play against Jimmy Connors. If ever he misses his first serve, then the second one, it's hit so hard, so low, that it's absolutely impossible for Roscoe Tanner to make a good first volley. It's terribly important for Tanner somehow to stay in this set and win a few service games. He mustn't lose this one,
Quiet,
otherwise
please.
he's completely finished.
Tanner to serve, third set.
Tanner serving.
Love 15. All. Thirty, 15.
Well played, Tanner.
First game, third set.
Well, he's got, Jimmy Connors certainly got some support. Ili Nastasi signing an autograph. Great friends, Ili Nastasi. If we move along a little way, there's Bill Reardon and Mrs. Connors. And right at the end, Susan George, slightly hidden there. Fair-haired, last but one. But almost he doesn't need any support because he's playing such superb tennis. But you have to admire Roscoe Tanner because he's on the receiving end of a tremendous amount of pressure, and somehow he's fighting there. He's using everything he knows somehow to stay in this match. Love one. Connor serving, but 2 sets to love up.
Love. Love.
Hit.
First service. Love. Game to Connors. One game more, third set. Love.
Very interesting this. He appears to have
30,
eased down a bit on the service. He probably was over-pressing when trying to serve so well before. He seems to have eased down a little.
Love.
Very interesting this. He appears to have
30, love.
eased down a bit on the service. He probably was over-pressing when trying to serve so well before. He seems to have eased down a little, now he's timing the ball better. Two magnificent services then.
Out. 40, love.
Oh, just a fault.
Yeah. 40-15. $40-30.
And that was really a brutal return of service. The ball got up a bit, just above waist height. Absolutely murderous return, that.
Deuce.
What a wonderful lob when Tanner had made such a beautiful pick-up half volley deep into the corner. Deuce.
Advantage Tanner. Deuce.
Quite deadly when he gets the high-bounding ball like that.
Advantage Tanner. Game to Tanner. Tanner leads by 2-1 in the third set.
Very difficult for Roscoe Tanner to know quite what to do with his serve. If he serves absolutely flat out, he served some 12 clean aces so far in this match. But if he misses his first serve, almost inevitably he loses the point. And that last serve, on the second serve, he hit it with very heavy slice. And I think perhaps the thing that's what he has to do, to try and make the ball swerve away from Connors and perhaps even serve at Connors' body, because when he serves his second serve and it bounces up, Connors is so quick onto it and hits tremendous returns. All through this tournament, when Jimmy Connors has got ahead, he's got better and better. But being held slightly in the third set. 1-2 down.
Set.
First service. Love 15. 15 all.
It's the tactic, of course, against Connors. He comes in so quickly behind the serve, but he's very lobbable if you can get the volley that he plays. 15 all.
Thirty 15.
Lovely disguise. Opened out early as though he was really going to give that a big bang. Lovely stroke. 40-15.
Game to Connors. Two games all, third set. Love 15. Love 30.
Well played.
Fifteen 30. Fifteen 40.
Well played.
Thirty 40. Beyond the line. Dust. Dust.
Just out, that's why white dust flew everywhere.
It's dust.
Yes, of course, this time of the day when you've had so much play on the court, you'll get a
Second
bit
service.
of dust like that. But it seemed to be a very definite call.
Deuce.
2-all deuce, third set.
Advantage Tanner.
It really does come as a surprise when Connors knocks one into the net on the return of service. Yes.
Deuce.
Lovely serve. Very deep serve.
Advantage tenor.
He's overdone it.
Deuce.
A little unlucky for Tanner there.
Advantage Connors. One fault. Fault was called. One fault. Game to Connors.
Double fault, I'm afraid.
One and not the other. He did not. He didn't say a word.
You know, I don't mind the call or anything, but you know, a little delay there. You know.
Oh, full wasn't a delay. I don't care whether it was or not. Make him call it. I mean, the other time he didn't call it, and we call it a fault.
Connors leads by 3 games to 2. Third set.
You made this new rule so that the referee could overrule. So that, well, you haven't overruled him once, and he's been wrong several times. He's not anymore.
Roscoe Tanner's very upset there because he says that he didn't hear a call. There was no call at all. I must say I didn't hear a call of fault, but the umpire, Robert Jenkins, said that it was a fault. Now it really upset Roscoe. He wasn't at all concentrated on the next shot, and he served double fault, and that was a very big game for him to lose, and he's quite upset with the proceedings. But it's a break of serve for Jimmy Connors, serving at 3-2. Third set and 2 sets to love.
Yeah. 15 love. All.
That's certainly the way to bury the smash.
$30-15. $40-15.
Well played. It was a beautiful backhand.
$40-30.
And the crowd here, I think, spellbound by this tennis. 40-30. Yes, I'm
Game
afraid
to
when he hit
Connors.
it, he knew it was going out.
Connors leads by 4 games to 2. Third set.
And 3 games in a row for Connors to come from 1-2 down. Now, what really is Tanner made of? Can he hold this together?
Love. Love.
Well played, lovely volley.
40, love. Second service. Game to Tanner. Connors leads by 4 games to 3. Third set, and by 2 sets to love.
And we're seeing really a sensational display of tennis here by Connors. His return of service is being out of this world against one of the finest servers in the game. And his ball control, playing at this speed and at this tempo, is really something to be marveled at. But Tanner sticking in there. He's just held his service to love. He was leading in this third set 2 games to 1. Connors came with a rush of 3 games, breaking the service in the middle, which made it 4-2 to Connors. And now Tanner has just held his service to love. And he badly needs a break here if he's to stay in this match. But he did break Connors, the first one in fact to break in the match. He broke Connors in the first set in the 7th game, but immediately had his own broken back. So it's Connors leading 4-3 third set.
Love. Love. Love.
On left.
Game to Connors. New balls, please. Connors leads by 5 games to 3. Third set.
So Roscoe Tanner, the number 4 ranking American and number 11 seed in this championship, has got to serve and hold his serve to stay in this match. He's serving with new balls, so it ought not to be beyond him.
Love.
And the champion, Connors, has made very few loose returns of that kind. In fact, I would say that's as loose as any he's played.
Love. First service.
30 love.
Love.
That's almost the first time that Connors has failed to bring off his topspin volley, which he's attempting then, but of course completely mishit it.
Game to Tanner. Connors leads by 5 games to 4 in the third set and by 2 sets to love.
And I think this centre court crowd would like to see Connors drop his service, not because they're against Connors, but because I think they'd like this match to go on. Not often do you have the privilege and pleasure of seeing this sort of tennis at this speed, this weight of shot, at this tempo, played with such wonderful control.
As you say, Dan, he's played incredibly well today. He's just lost his serve once at 3-all in the first set, but since that time, he's absolutely ploughed straight through Roscoe Tan. He's hit the ball so hard, he's hardly missed anything, and of course, for Tanner to break this serve, he's just got to risk everything and just hope that he makes a couple of big ones, because Connors is missing nothing at all. Connors to serve then, 2 sets to love up, and 5-4 in the third set.
Love. Love. Love.
So, 3 match points to take him into the final.
Game, set, and match to Connors. Match to Connors, 6-4, 6-1, 6-4.
So he goes into the final to play against Arthur Ashe, who beat Tony Roach today 3 sets to 2. And there's obviously a very happy man. But I've been thinking all through this match, that here we have this man who played such absolutely brilliant tennis against Roscoe last year, one of the finest returners of the service the game has known, and now today he's beaten in an hour and a quarter this wonderful server from America, and one is left wondering how much more this boy Connors can go on improving. It was a tremendous explosive display here, but all of it all purposeful and all controlled. It wasn't just wild hitting, absolutely unbelievable tennis.
I think the thing is, Dan, is that whenever Connors just gets down, as he was in the first set, he seems to raise his game by 25% and break serve with clean winners, and then he goes mad and really charges and wins game after game.
So really quite